Tri-City Sports Now, and this is Marky Billson. Been mentioning this, I mentioned Pete Axelm in the start of the program, my monologue. How about this? Here we go. Well, Tennessee is the latest school to approve alcohol sales in general seating areas in 2019. A few days ago, they said so it would be fine at Vanderbilt. That, tell you the truth, that ought to help them out. There's a little bit difference, though, I think, Vanderbilt crowd and Tennessee crowd, when you think about alcohol sales. I mean, you think about Tennessee alcohol sales, and I mean, you're like, jar, get your jars here, jars full of corn whiskey, and all that has that, but you won't have to pay taxes on this, that's what you're kind of thinking right there. Vanderbilt, it's more of the elitist thing, you're going to be having a cocktail or something. Strawberry daiquiris, mimosas, all that stuff. No. By the way, I think that anybody who tries to pick on somebody, on the front of the masculinity on what cocktail you drink, or if you drink at all, is just absolutely absurd. And that's disturbing, to tell you the truth. So I'm not going to go there. But Tennessee is the latest SEC school to approve alcohol sales in the general seating areas in 2019. Now, if you listen to Chuck Oliver, he once spent a long time telling you that the Georgia alcohol sales, they'll do it, but you almost have to buy a house and sell your children to be able to get alcohol in Sanford Stadium. It'll be in one room, and you've got to go make a donation. And it's amazing. The incredible thing about this is that first game, Neyland Stadium this year, Georgia Southern. Now, Georgia State, August 31st. We're only about now, 7 days away from the start of college football season with Miami and Florida. Why don't they play every year? Why don't those two teams play every year? Really? I mean, it makes no sense to me. For Florida State, Miami, Florida. I don't know, because you want to put Central Florida in the mix, but they don't. I'm big on in-state rivalries. I think Tennessee and Memphis should play every year. Oh, yeah. Certainly I'd like to see Virginia Tech and Tennessee more. That's a nice... I'm a Tri-Cityan. Of course I do. Maybe someone from Chattanooga would like to see Georgia Tech and Tennessee more. I wouldn't mind that because of tradition. Not at all. I thought it was great when they played a couple of years ago. Exciting game. I'd like to see more of that. Wouldn't hurt Georgia Tech either, because they, Bill Curry's been on this show, and he said, when I became the coach at Georgia Tech, we were playing this monster schedule. We were playing Notre Dame. We were Georgia Tech. We'd just been, sure, I'd played there, but we weren't in the SEC anymore. We were begging to get in the ACC. And, here we had to play this monster schedule, so I sort of, took it down a little bit. And that's what he feels allowed Georgia Tech to be in a situation where they could win the national title in 1990 and such. Well, now I'm kind of thinking, because Georgia Tech gets no attention whatsoever and they're in the ACC and all this, maybe they need to schedule Tennessee. Maybe they need to schedule Alabama again. Thought. Most of the time I get the SEC model of an 8-game schedule now. I guess Pac-12, they don't allow their teams to play FCS, so they play 9 conference games. But, so what do? One One conference game, game, then a couple of cupcakes. Who's in the Mountain West that we can play? Over here, who's in the Sun Belt? What do we got? Conference, UAB and Georgia State. Bring those guys in, yeah. Who was it last year? It's tough to remember. It was Charlotte and Massachusetts. No, Massachusetts was the year before. Oh, geez. Who else are we bringing there? Southern Mississippi. Okay, they're good. It's guys like that you come in. And then we got to have the FCS school. Now, if you're going to do this, why don't you keep it in state? That's been my philosophy. So I think Tennessee should play like they're doing now, Chattanooga, like they did last year, ETSU. Tennessee Martin was a team they played. If you're going to play, Austin P, if you're going to play an FCS team, I say keep the money in state. Possibly within the region. I don't know. If Kennesaw State, maybe. I mean, but something like that. But no, I really want to keep it in state. I don't want to play a D2, obviously, but that's barbaric. But, going to play FCS, keep it in state. Anyway, evidently I didn't think I'd get the taps in or something like that. So the first game that Tennessee will be selling alcohol against, I guess they're not going to be selling it against, but you would be selling it against them. It's Brigham Young. Now, let me tell you about Brigham Young. Over there in Provo, you think we're conservative over here? They're even more so in Provo. You think that, me talking about demon alcohol, somewhat racy. It isn't in some places, but I know a sports talk show host in this market who actually quit his job because the station wanted to sell beer advertising. He didn't want to be a part of that. Now, you get that in East Tennessee, and you get that in Utah, and you don't get it that many other places. So East Tennessee and Provo, but now East Tennessee showing how enlightened they are, they're going to approve alcohol sales, and they're going to do it against BYU, which has yet to approve soda pop sales at their stadium. You heard me. Caffeine. No, I do not know the beverages they sell at BYU, but they do not sell, or at least they didn't used to. If they do now, it's news to me, but I know that I've had people that have gone to BYU 4 games, no pop. No soda pop. I mean, there's caffeine in that. You can imagine what they're thinking about alcohol there. I mean, it's just, oh my goodness. Yeah. They gave the guy the ball and he starts screaming Bible verses at you, and all that. Wine is a mocker and all this sort of stuff. Regardless, here we go. Athletic Director Philip Fulmer said in a statement, "I appreciate everyone whose effort has helped us develop what we believe will be a comprehensive and responsible plan for alcohol sales at home football games. The game day experience at Neyland Stadium is just okay. He's getting into propaganda. Yeah, it's really nice. We know that Smokey's on the prowl. I'm confident these new concession options will aid our continued efforts to enhance that experience for Tennessee fans and visitors throughout the stadium. You'll also be able to get booze money, right? So don't forget the booze money. I mean, you don't want to forget the booze money, do you? A valid ID must be presented at the point of sale. Did that really need to get written? I mean, come on. Game day officials and security may request info for anyone consuming alcohol at any time. Sales will begin 2 hours before kickoff and will conclude at the end of the third quarter. That's a good thing. The SEC's new policy, fans may purchase only 2 beverages per transaction. At least they're not making you go, into the bowels of the stadium to buy them and all this. We remain committed to providing a safe, positive, family-friendly atmosphere. I mean, you get this. Okay. At least nobody's smuggling in a flask, which they may still do. I don't know, but, it used to be a big thing back when. Not so much anymore, I guess. Now they want to, there's so much emphasis. You're going to buy your alcohol here that if you get in the yard, there's going to be no flask. But that used to be something, cold day, raccoon coat, and all of a sudden you become, Nick Nolte in 48 hours, right? Anyway, the SEC changed its alcohol policy after several years of debate among SEC officials, like school presidents, ADs. Said Grant Sankey, the SEC commissioner, our policy governing alcohol sales has been a source of considerable discussion and respectable debate among our member universities in recent years. As a conference, we've been observant of trends for sale, consumption of alcohol. Look, they can make some money on the booze sales, okay? That's how they look at it. They're not really all that I mean, if you want to get right down to brass tacks, that's what it's all about, okay? I, to tell you the truth, also think that it probably will help some Vanderbilt sales, in my opinion. Vanderbilt approved it a while back. I say a while back, about a week ago. So I don't know the exact policy for the Commodores, but Neyland Stadium, so 2 drinks per transaction, set it up. The interesting thing, though, it's against BYU. It's like you're making a cultural statement by selling alcohol. First game, BYU. I mean, I kind of like that. Hey, whatever your feelings are again about alcohol, what do I want for East Tennessee? To be more cosmopolitan. All right. There'll be... We actually have beer at the ball games now. Wow, you know. They sell red liquor at the ballpark in the 1890s. Tri-City Sports Now.